brave man.
What were Milan thinking?
And he wonders why people don't like him.
I mean, how did Bolton get JJ Okocha? The only valuable reason I can think is that maybe Allardyce was away one day and they put the temp in charge and he bought JJ Okocha.
Seen him playing in Germany and watching the skills that he had, and it was really exciting to see him come to England and start performing like that.
I don't think anybody ever had more fun in the Premier League than when JJ Okocha was playing for Bolton.
I used to watch Bolton just for JJ Okocha.
I had a joy to play against him in Germany when he played for Frankfurt, and he gave us a run around a few times there, so obviously when he came to England I knew all about him.
I mean, you're talking about a £25 million player when he moved to PSG, and he did nothing there, replaced eventually by Ronaldinho. Came to Bolton, he bossed the league.
Yeah, what a player, some of the stuff that he did. And to end up with a team like Bolton,
yeah.
You know, what a waste.
Right here, you're talking about a guy who's 35 years of age, when he looked like he was going to finish his career at Coventry. Picked up on a free transfer for Gerard Houllier. People were thinking, what the hell are Liverpool doing buying this fella? At the end of the season, they win a treble, scores a winning goal in the Merseyside derby, etches himself into Anfield folklore.
He came along and he blew us all away, really, you know, and showed us how things were supposed to be done properly.
That's a masterstroke, isn't it, by Houllier to do that?
Yeah, to get something like that in. You won't see many of them anymore, not at that age, would you?
He was a real surprise. I don't think anyone thought he would be such a success. But he was an important cog in that Liverpool midfield. They had a young Steven Gerrard, and I think he helped develop Gerrard as well.
And sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. You bring somebody in for various reasons, but the way it worked out with Maka and Liverpool was just fantastic.
I've always liked him in Leeds and Coventry, Liverpool. One of those guys.
Nice hair.
Yeah, good look.
He'd been on the wane, let's be honest. Felix Magato gave him a chance at Schalke. What a signing he proved to be.
Raul was an absolute legend at Real Madrid. I was surprised he left because I thought he'd just hang up his boots there. But then to go to Schalke and still play Champions League, still score.
Got all the way to the semi-finals. Raul in the quarter-final win against Inter. I mean, what a performance. Remember one goal where the trademark Raul, he rolled the studs of his boot over the top of the ball to round Julio Cesar and then put it into an empty net. He was fantastic.
Luis Enrique, this one shows that here was a player who really didn't care what people thought. To cross that divide on a free transfer after being a first-team player at Real Madrid takes some courage. He really did become the beating heart of that Barcelona team for the best part of a decade.
What I liked about him is he was so versatile. He could play almost in every position on the pitch. He could play in defence, he could play in midfield, in attack, right, left, in the centre. Not so much success in Europe, but a fantastic servant for both clubs.
Henrik Larsson being at Celtic to start with was a bit of a joke, wasn't it?
It's
a player
crazy.
of that quality to be playing in a league that poor, really. And, obviously he's going to win anything he wants in Scotland. And then he go Barcelona, win the Champions League. Everywhere he's gone, it's been brilliant, hasn't it?
Incredible player.
One of the big accusations levied against Larsson is that he spent too long at Celtic and he should have gone and tested himself in another league a little bit sooner.
Absolutely, came off the bench, 1-0 down to Arsenal, and he changed the game. I remember Thierry Henry in his post-match interview said that all the talk was about Ronaldinho and all the other stars in that Barcelona team, but it was Henrik Larsson, a free transfer signing at into his 30s, and it was Larsson who made the difference.
This is a bit of a Homeric odyssey, coming back to where it all started again after a career around Europe with varying degrees of success, it has to be said. He went on loan there from Chelsea, but then secured a permanent free move after Estudiantes won the league. And he won the Copa Libertadores, which is an amazing achievement. They did all that with Juan Sebastian Veron, whose father was a huge part of the Estudiantes story as well, right at the heart of the entire operation. Yeah,
it was a great story. I enjoyed a real Indian summer at Estudiantes. He got back into the Argentina World Cup squad at the age of 35 and actually had a decent tournament.
Well, when McManaman went from Liverpool to Real Madrid, everyone thought he was going to be a failure, but he turned out to be a legend at that club. He was one of the few English players that's gone abroad that's been a real success, and yet he's one of the few that no one ever talks about.
Yeah, but he's good technically, isn't he? So that's why he's worked out.
That's right, that's why he worked out in Spain.
For me, I always felt that he was slightly underrated. I mean, I played against him several times out on that right-hand side. Wasn't exceptionally quick, but what he did have is he had fantastic ball control. and wasn't afraid to come in off the line and come inside at you.
And he scored that famous goal in the final, that kind of semi-scissor kick, which is, you know, one of the memorable goals almost in Champions League history.
I would imagine there's a little bit of bitterness from Liverpool fans that this is a free transfer, because McManaman was probably one of the most gifted English playmakers of a generation. And for him to see out his contract at Liverpool and move on and to be so valuable for another team probably rankles a little bit for Liverpool fans.
For me, Andrea Pirlo to Juventus is the greatest free transfer signing of all time.
You know, he has become, again, regarded as the best midfield player in the world alongside Xavi and Bastian Schweinsteiger. I don't think he could have done that had he stayed at AC Milan. I do think he needed that fresh start, and he got a brilliant one with Conte at Juve.
I mean, you just see what he's done for Juventus. I mean, everything goes through him. He's led them to back-to-back Scudetti.
Yeah, but he's back, and he's playing a huge part in the national team as well again.
Absolutely, and I think 2012 was the best year of his career, and you saw what he did at Euro 2012. Player of the tournament for me, just an absolute genius, one of the greats, all-time greats, and to release him on a free transfer, I mean, Milan were absolutely crazy. I think Campbell is a classic case of everything that went wrong with the Galactico period. And here was a midfielder who had been a young phenomenon in Argentina, moved to Madrid. You know, you could see the potential there.
Yeah.
But because he didn't fit the whole Zidane, Figo type of player, you know, they got rid of him to Inter, and you know, the rest has been history.
To go from discarded by Real Madrid one summer and then just a few years later to win the treble as an integral part of Jose Mourinho's system shows the adaptability, the versatility, and also the influence, I think, of Esteban Cambiasso. One of the greatest midfielders, in my opinion, of the modern generation.
What's funny about it is, after Real Madrid sold Claude Makélélé to Chelsea, for similar reasons, if you like, that they undervalued him, wouldn't give him the wages that he deserved, for years they couldn't find a replacement for Makélélé. And there was Esteban Cambiasso, who would have been an absolutely perfect fit for the Makélélé role, as they call it, in England, and they let him go.
Sol Campbell going from Spurs to Arsenal, brave man.
But what a decision for his career.
Yeah,
He
incredible.
weren't going to win anything at Spurs, was he?
Slightly better than his Notts County transfer.
Was that free and all?
I think so, yeah.
Bargain.
It was a little bit of a surprise because it is a difficult thing to do, you know. When you have such a rivalry and you're in that intense rivalry, and next minute you move to the other side, and it must be so hard for him, you know. But he took it in his stride and went on to win loads and loads of trophies. So he showed people how it should be done.
I seem to remember this one caused a little bit of controversy.
I seem to remember that as well, yeah.
They were a little bit bitter about the fact that he, you know, joined their arch rivals after seeing out his contract when he was captain of the team, and in the first season that he goes to Arsenal, he ends up winning the league.
There's no doubt that Sol Campbell is an immense player. He was so powerful, read the game really well, and played well for Arsenal as well. So that helps when you make that move. If you don't play well, then you're probably wishing that you didn't make that move, but he did it tremendously well.